Hi, everyone. Can you believe it? Our first episode is here. Pink Nest podcast is live. And it's going to be all about Martin, an amazing person and even more amazing autism advocate. Join us in this episode. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pink Nest podcast. Today I'm with Martin Slyngstad, award-winning disability advocate, business owner, author, Special Olympics athlete, and a speaker who's really done a ton for his community. Martin, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Tell
you
us
so
more
much for having
about
me
you.
on.
What did I miss? I mean, I did say a lot, but what did I miss?
No, I mean, just definitely thank you for having me on. It's an honor. And, you know, I do a lot for my community. I forgot to mention in that intro, I am a music producer, so I record and produce electronic music.
I knew it's something missing because I mean I checked your bio and you've done really a lot. So thank you so much for being here. Let's start. I really want to know more about you. I want to know more about your childhood. Actually, let's
Mhm.
start at the very beginning.
Definitely. So I was diagnosed with autism at the age of 5. And before that, I was actually nonverbal. And after trying to say my first words the first 4 years of my life, I had difficulty. And I tried to, by reading different books, going to school, like putting books on the top of my head and trying my best. And at around 4.5, I started saying my first words through my speech therapist, who I still keep in touch with to this day. And, you know, when I was first diagnosed, I really had a tough time accepting who I was because I didn't want to be known as someone different compared to other people. And there was a lot of bullying I endured. I mean, like to this day, I still deal with it, but childhood was definitely difficult because I didn't want to accept myself as different.
Yeah, I understand. You always kind of felt, I guess, that you were different from other children. Um,
It, yeah.
yeah. And then what actually happened? How did your story continue in school? How did it develop?
Yeah. No, school was definitely tough. There was only one or two teachers that really understood me. And there was times in my childhood where there was bullies that would come up to me and actually hit me in front of teachers, and the teachers would turn away and not do anything. And because I have difficulty with eye contact, teachers didn't understand that and sent me to detention multiple times, and it was really difficult.
Yeah, this sounds really horrible. Um,
Yeah.
and now you're working today. You're still working with children as well. Do you think that this has changed? Um, how do you experience school system today, for example? For how would it be like for a child like you?
Um, it's definitely improved. I mean, autism is now being more understood to where that teachers are starting to understand it. And so I kind of helped that by sharing my experience with other teachers and teaching them how to teach students with disabilities, because we deserve to be in the classroom with others and not feel left out. And I'm going to be honest, it is a tough challenge, but now that more people are understanding autism now today, it's a lot more easier. However, some teachers still have difficulty accepting that, and something's got to change. I mean, here in the United States, it's been really crazy. And then with the news today about with our president saying what caused autism, there's been a lot of stress in regards to that. And it's like I'm doing my best to change the narrative because, quite frankly, i- in the United States, we have our autism rate at 1 in 31, but here in California, where I am, it's 1 in 20. And I'm just doing the best that I can to be there for my people because we really deserve to feel like we belong with society. And I know nowadays it's difficult, but I'm keeping up the fight. And yeah, we got a long way to go because it's like we take 2 steps forward, yet 10 steps back because society is still stuck on awareness instead of acceptance.
Yeah, I totally feel you. And I think also it's very challenging because there is just so much to deal with the world today. And there is
Yeah.
so much agenda pushed towards you from various different sides. And I think that it's really, really hard to push our voices
Yeah.
just out to the universe. I mean, I checked your website. I really admire what you're doing. Do you want to tell us more about Spire Autism?
Absolutely. So I started this with my mom. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, it has been slow because I've been focused on school and stuff. But with Spire Autism, I train teachers how to teach autistic students. I build sensory rooms. I'm working on a little item I can't say yet because I know somebody would try to steal kind of like my idea and stuff, but I also train first responders how to approach us during an emergency because it is so important for first responders like police and fire to approach us in a calm manner. And it has not been the case. And the way that I do it, I put myself in a situation where I know, I'm going to do my best to put it this way. Recently, I trained a search and rescue company, but because they didn't know how to approach autistic people in duress, I had to put myself in a pretty severe panic attack because I wanted them to know, like, this is how we're going to act, and this is the way you should approach us. And was it difficult? Yes, because it took a big toll on me, but I'm glad I did it because they really, really need to know how to be there for us and approach us when we really need it the most.
Yeah, I can imagine it must be really challenging because it sounds like every action has also a reaction in a way that you actually, I mean, besides putting yourself out there, it's also that it's really a problem in a way how to work with people because they want to do something, they don't know how to do it. And it's really, it must be really challenging, I guess, I mean, I see it myself with my own work as well. First of all, it's this stigma all around, and people are afraid to talk about it, about mental health in general, about neurodivergency, about everything. And once they do, it's really challenging, and it's taking a toll on, I think, on all of us in a way. It's really bad. Let's touch the subject of. We're gonna come back to Spire Autism because I want to talk about your mom a little bit too. Sorry,
Mhm.
but it's
Yeah,
really
no worries.
something that I'm really interested in because it's such an amazing story. But let's talk about mental health a little bit. You've mentioned burnout. That burnout has been such a um, such a really challenging, but also I think really, really sad topic in a way because it's on the rise and we know what's
Mhm.
going on now, but it's still the numbers are rising and it's obviously there is not either knowledge or awareness or just things done that we would be able to prevent it. Now, we know that, for example, sensory rooms are a great way to include in an office or in a public place or in school, for example, and they are such a great way of how to actually make a space more bearable, let's put it like this, for everybody. But it's just so challenging because people just don't. I always say we're somehow in a catch-22 because I think that, people that are having issues are not talking about it just for stigma
Right.
reasons and everything. While people that could do something don't do anything because they don't know something is wrong. And I think
Right.
it's really challenging. But do talk me a little bit about burn. I want to open this topic. I know it's a challenging one, but still, um,
Yeah.
what was happening? How did it feel? What concrete steps did you take to recover?
Definitely. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know much about burnout. I'm gonna be really, really vulnerable about that because I don't know the signs as much, and I really don't know if I am close to a burnout or experiencing one. I mean, I feel like I don't know if exhaustion plays a toll in it or if my stress levels are high because of it. I mean, it's hard to tell, to be 100% transparent with you, because nobody really told me about burnout and the different signs, so I'm not entirely sure, but I'm wondering if it could be related to being highly anxious and my difficulty with sleep.
For sure it can be. I mean, burnout really, I mean, the triggers are really different with every person. We are so
Right.
different. Of course, everybody's different. And for some, and also the responses to burnout are completely different. Some respond
Mm,
completely different than the others. So there is no matrix like you can put yourself in this box and say, okay, now I'm having a burnout, or now I'm going towards a burnout, and I know I'm going towards a burnout. So it's very, very challenging, I think. But I think it's important that we open this discussion, because I think that the stigma is just killing us all, to be honest. It's just making
mhm,
everything so much worse. And
right,
there is really no need to it. I actually posted a few days ago on LinkedIn that, for example, if you have a toothache, you don't try to cure it yourself. You go to a dentist and you're going to tell your boss, look, I'm having a toothache. I'm going to stay at home or I have to visit a doctor. But if you're having
mhm,
mental health issues, you try to do everything on your own first. Then you're going to talk to somebody, maybe, if at all. And then most likely at work, you're going to hide it and try to make other excuses why you're not at work. And I think this really needs to change. It's 21st century. We have to do better, really. Um,
exactly, and the reason why I brought up how I don't know I'm in a burnout or if I am close to one is because along with being diagnosed autistic, I was also diagnosed with nonverbal learning disorder. So not only can I not tell signs, I'm not able to tell if somebody is making a joke or is pretty upset with me or not, because I'm not able my brain is not able to know the what's the word I'm looking for? Like, know the tone. It's hard
mhm.
for me to tell. And so I come off as somebody that doesn't show a lot of emotion, and the reason why is because my brain has a tough time processing, like, what they're feeling. Like, if somebody gets mad at me, I can't tell, and sometimes it can be frustrating because with my struggle in friendships, it's like, is it me as a person? But I need to remember, like, "Hey, I have nonverbal learning disorders, so it's honestly difficult to tell."
Yeah. But you see, this is why these kind of discussions like we are having now, when we are actually putting ourselves out there, are so important, because I'm sure that
Yep.
a lot of people, maybe even in your friendship circle or even within your, yeah, people that just don't even know how to react or don't even know. You know what I mean? That's why it's so important that we talk about it, because this is also for people to learn from our experiences. Otherwise, I don't think that anything is going to change. I know it's tough,
Right.
but I think it's really important that we are actually having this conversation, um, as loud as we can, and of course as comfortably as we can. Although it's very challenging, for
Exactly.
everyone. Yeah. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for actually being the voice. I also wanted to touch the Special Olympics. Tell me more
Mhm.
about this. I mean, you've done so many things in your life, and it's so amazing. I had really had a tough time choosing things what to actually talk about because we're limited with time.
Yeah. So Special Olympics, I am great. I am involved with that because I can play the sports that I want and I'm able to stay fit. But not only that, I'm able to connect with others that are just like me. And just yesterday, I won gold medal for baseball with my team, and it was such a memorable moment that, everybody had
Congratulations!
thank you, thank you. No, it was
Amazing.
great. It was tiring because between our 2 games, we had a 5.5 hour gap. So we're just like from like 10:30 AM until like 2:45 PM or something. We're just like sitting around like, what are we supposed to do? And I thought that all that time resting would make it tough, but we're able to pull through and come out on top.
That's amazing. How is your team
Yeah.
like in baseball? I want to know more about your colleagues.
Yeah, no, it was really fun, and they're also my teammates for flag football for Special Olympics, and some of them are also on the same team for swimming during the summer, and then tennis during the springtime.
What? Sounds so amazing. I mean, to be honest, it sounds like you're doing way more sports than I am.
I do about 5 during the Special Olympics.
Wow. So
Yep.
amazing. That's really amazing. All right. Now let's go back to Spire Autism and your
Yeah.
mom. Tell us
Mhm.
about your book. The audience doesn't know, but you guys wrote a book together, right?
Yep. Yep.
Tell me
So it's
more.
called yeah, so it's called Spire Autism. Or no, oh my gosh, what did I say my business? It's Chatterbox, My Life with Autism, A Mother and Son's Perspective. And the unique thing about the book is you get not only my perspective, but also my mom's side. And what's unique about it is that there really isn't a whole lot of books about autism that has both sides. Most of the time you get just one perspective instead of two. And the unique thing about it is when we wrote the book, we didn't read each other's notes until the book was published because we didn't want to change anything up last minute. And so, it was really cool. It won runner up for nonfiction book of the year. And there is something else that I found out, but I'm keeping that under wraps for now because I don't want to jinx it. But it's it's a pretty big opportunity for Chatterbox that I didn't think was possible until I received that email, but yeah, it's it was really I was very vulnerable writing the book, and originally it was supposed to be just a journal entry.
All right. And how how long did it take you to write a book? Just for the audience to understand
Mhm.
what's the effort like? I mean, it must have been huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I started writing the book after my surgery in 2006, so that was sophomore year in high school. And like I said, originally it was supposed to be a journal entry, but it took me until, let's see, 2006 to 2022, I believe. And there was so many years that I had writer's block, and I fought with self-doubt, asking myself, like, what if nobody really cares about hearing an autistic person's voice? And then when we had that crazy lockdown, I told myself, you know what? I want to finish the book, and I think it's time to share my story because not only do I deserve my voice to be heard, but I want to be that beacon of hope for other autistics to share their story.
And I think it's also the fact that you co-wrote the book actually with your mom. It's such an important bit because a lot of parents are struggling with just the acceptance bit, I would say. And tell
Mhm.
me, how do you feel that this has changed your relationship with your mom? Did it change it in a way that you were just working together on a project?
Um, that's a good question. I'm not entirely sure, I'm gonna be honest. But no, I feel like it was great. Hopefully, this makes sense. I mean, sometimes when I say things, it doesn't make sense sometimes, but I feel like having both perspectives, it really helped parents understand their autistic child better and that, everything is gonna be okay.
Yeah, I think this is such an important bit. I mean, when I actually saw that you co-wrote a book, I was like, wow, this is actually a great way to go. I mean, thank you guys for doing that. This is really an amazing thing. And it's such a valuable resource also for other parents. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Love this. Um, Tell me a little bit more, or I want to ask
Mhm.
a very direct question. If you would be running the world, how would your world look like?
My world would be where autism is accepted by everyone and where it's kind of like a dream that I had a while ago that I had a dream that not only was autism and all different types of disabilities accepted, it was like where the world was where we didn't have to wake up every day and ask ourselves, am I going to get bullied at work or at school, or am I going to be misunderstood? But the way my world would be is people accepted us for who we are and actually reached out to us if we looked like we were struggling instead of judging us for who we are, because we are human beings just like neurotypicals, but we just want to be accepted and show we have what it takes to be friends. We have what it takes to be great coworkers. And yes, we may think differently, but we bring so much to the table. And I really am pushing for that. I even I do have some very powerful things to share near the end if that's all right. But
Of course.
also
Yeah, no, you can include them already now, please. Just
oh
go.
yeah, no,
Just
I
go.
will definitely. Before I share those things, some things that I've done to really help push autism acceptance is I worked with multiple government agencies to create proclamations declaring April as Autism Acceptance Month to show that autistics deserve to be seen and heard.
Absolutely. No, that's I saw it this and I mean, I think that the people watching this are definitely going to see how much you've actually done and how long way you've actually come from that child
Mhm.
that was bullied in school. And look at you today. I mean,
Yeah.
no, it's really amazing. Really. I mean, really in awe. Because there is just, when I was reading your bio, I was like, my God, amazing. Really, really, really.
Thank you.
Um, and you've also mentioned that, because I'm neurodivergent myself, I know that, there we have special strengths that people just don't see in us. What would it
Mhm.
be your special strength, for example? What do you think that it's your I don't know, your very best strength that's different from other people?
I would say my best strength is, and I didn't know it until I started or after releasing the book and getting feedback, that my strength is providing very powerful speeches to the community. I mean, I to sit how would I say this? I started my own conference in Hawaii with my podcast co-host, and to put into perspective, I've been so comfortable. I've started doing solo travels on my own, which I used to never do because I usually do things with family or stuff, but with my strength, I've actually started doing conferences on my own. And just this last week, when I spoke at Stanford University, where I was diagnosed in 1995, that was my 28th speaking engagement since April this year. And
Wow.
so yeah, I've
Talk
definitely done
about
a lot.
active.
Yeah,
Amazing. No, really amazing, Martin. You really are amazing. I mean,
thank
phew,
you.
wow. so,
Yeah.
so so cool. Um, what else? What did we forget something? I mean, I know that we could be speaking for hours and hours.
Mhm,
Just look what you've everything that's been done.
mhm.
It's really amazing. Did we forget something? Is there something that you want to share with the audience? I'm giving you now the space to
Yeah,
just share whatever you feel like sharing.
absolutely. And I got a couple things here. One of them is a poem. I might do the poem first and then some final words. And this is kind of like my bread and butter, basically, for people who feel like their voice isn't heard. Originally, this poem I wrote called I Am was originally a homework assignment, but people really thought it was so beautiful. So anytime I'm on a podcast, I share it. So it goes like this: I am a warrior for change, unique in every way, battling quiet struggles and loud wars every day. My body, marked by stress, tells a story, a testament of strength in all I say and do. I wonder how many trials must test my weary soul in a world that judges scars as if they were a toll. Yet I hear soft whispers of hope for every child and see eyes lifted upward where dreams run wild. I see the weight of prejudice on every tender face, parents fighting silent battles in a world that won't erase the doubts and hurts that linger when judgment comes too fast. Still together we rise, united, unsurpassed. I want to guide the lost so no one fights alone. Our differences unite us in the strength we've known. I am a warrior for change. My disability is not a flaw, but a symbol of resilience, defiant in what I saw. I pretend to wear the armor, though sometimes I feel the strain. Exhaustion weighs me down, yet hope runs through my veins. I touch hearts with gentle grace, a beacon in the night. I worry for a world still blind to our inherent right. I cry silent tears in the dark, so no one sees me cry. Each droplet tells a story of the strength we all contain. God will help us get through it. Just reach out and pray. I am a light that will not be confined. I say, let no one dim your light. Let your true self shine. I dream of days when labels fade and every soul's embraced, when disability is honored as a beauty interlaced. I try to hold on to hope, though sometimes my strength feels weak. I trust you all see the powers and the battles that we seek. I am a warrior for change through struggles, soft or loud, forever proud of every mark that makes us different, bold, and unbound.
That's so beautiful. This is really beautiful. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for sharing.
I've got one more thing here. So, this last part is from my recent speech at Stanford University. It's a lot more shorter, but it's called The Future Belongs to Those Who Are Willing to Create It. Let's build a world where difference is not just tolerated but embraced, where accommodations are standard, not special, where neurodivergent individuals are not just included, they are leaders, innovators, artists, engineers, parents, and storytellers. Every possibility that exists in a neurotypical life must also exist for the autistic community because anything less is unacceptable. So, to everyone listening to this or seeing this, keep going, keep believing, keep loving with your whole heart. Whether your journey is just beginning or has been unfolding for years, you are a vital thread in this tapestry of transformation. You are not alone. You are not invisible. You are not without power. This is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of a better one where acceptance is unconditional, one where difference is celebrated, and one where hope doesn't whisper, it roars. And in this news story, the autism community leads the way.
Yeah, that's really powerful. I'm so happy
Thank
that you
you.
shared this. And I'm sure that our listeners are going to be very, very inspired by your words. I hope so.
Thank you.
Um, just one more thing, one very last
Mhm.
thing to conclude. One
Yeah.
tiny action you'd like listeners to take tomorrow to make our world or our voices heard.
Just know that you are not alone. For like any autistic listening, you are not alone and that everything is going to be okay. And for neurotypicals that listen to this, just know that we are human beings just like you. We may think differently. It may take us time to come up with different things, but know that we are just like you and we really want to be accepted because we deserve to be on this world just like you. And I try not to get emotional right now because it's like it's been really tough, but just know that give us a chance to show that we should be accepted because we deserve it. We don't deserve to be bullied every day. We don't deserve to be told that we don't have what it takes. And we just accept us for who we are.
I think
That's all
that's
I
the
got to
most
say.
important bit. Yeah, that's the most important bit. They just have to accept us. Thank you for sharing,
Uh,
Martin.
I did not expect to get emotional there.
It's all right. Don't worry. I think it's important that people see the real stories behind it, and yours is such a
Yeah,
powerful one.
I
And I
appreciate
just
it.
really want to say thank you for taking the time and for sharing your story with me. It's really, really such a powerful one, and I'm really, really inspired by everything that you're doing. It's amazing, really, and
I
just
appreciate it.
continue being the voice for everybody because this is a great way in how we can change the world, really. Um,
I appreciate it.
thank you so much, Martin.
And thank you for having me on again. I just felt like I just had some stuff to share and, you know, I'm going to keep on fighting and I know that I struggle with sleep, but I do that because there's a lot that needs to be done and I want to show the world that autistic people can be leaders.
Oh, they are. You're a great example, Martin.
I appreciate it.
Definitely. Definitely. Thank you so much, Martin. I'm sure our paths
Thank
will
you.
cross again. Thank you.
Absolutely. Bye everyone.